Spiritual Awakening Guide, Unlocking Your Inner Power. Before we dive into this powerful audiobook, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're ready to learn something life-changing. Your support helps bring more audiobooks like this to the channel. Introduction: The Call to Inner Awakening. In the heart of every soul lies a quiet whisper, a subtle but insistent call, beckoning it to look beyond the world of appearances, beyond the veil of the material, into the depths of the unseen realms. This is the call to inner awakening, a journey that begins not with external signs or dramatic moments but with the soul's desire to remember its divine origin, its eternal nature, and the immense power that lies within. For those who are willing to listen, the journey through the corridors of esoteric wisdom opens before them like a sacred invitation, drawing them into the timeless mysteries of spiritual transformation. This path is not new. It has been walked by countless souls through the ages, guided by the wisdom of ancient traditions such as Hermeticism, Alchemy, Gnosticism, and the sacred rites of the Rosicrucians. These traditions have long held the keys to unlocking the inner power of the soul, teaching that true awakening is not found in the world of matter, but in the hidden realms of spirit. The seeker who embarks on this journey is not merely gaining knowledge. They are undertaking a process of deep transformation, one that leads them to the realization of their highest self, the divine essence that resides within. The esoteric traditions speak of awakening as an alchemical process, one that involves the dissolution of the old self, the self bound by illusions, fears, and desires, and the birth of a new self, purified, enlightened, and aligned with the divine will. This is the great work, the magnum opus of the soul, through which the lead of the lower nature is transmuted into the gold of spiritual enlightenment. To undertake this work is to commit to a path of self-discovery, self-mastery, and ultimately, union with the divine source. In the teachings of Hermeticism, we find the principle that the all is mind, a foundational truth that reveals the mental nature of the universe. This principle, one of the 7 Hermetic laws, teaches that everything in existence is a manifestation of thought, and that by mastering our own minds, we can shape the reality we experience. This is not merely about controlling thoughts or emotions, it is about aligning the mind with the deeper truths of the cosmos, allowing the divine mind to flow through us, guiding our actions and shaping our destiny. But why now? Why is the call to awakening so urgent in this moment? The world, with all its distractions and complexities, often lulls the soul into forgetfulness. We are surrounded by noise, information, and the demands of the material world, all of which pull us away from the inner sanctuary where the soul's true power resides. Yet, there is a stirring, a quickening of consciousness happening on a global scale. More and more souls are feeling the call to return to the ancient wisdom, to rediscover the truths that have been hidden for so long. This is a time of awakening, where the veils are thinning, and the knowledge that once seemed inaccessible is now within reach for those who seek it. The Western esoteric tradition, though often overshadowed by more mainstream spiritual practices, holds a rich and powerful lineage of wisdom that stretches back to the dawn of civilization. From the ancient teachings of the Egyptians, who guarded the secrets of alchemy and the mysteries of the soul's journey through the afterlife, to the Gnostics, who taught that divine knowledge, gnosis, was the key to liberation from the material world, these traditions offer a roadmap for the modern seeker. The wisdom of the Hermetic texts, the symbols of alchemy, the mystical insights of the Kabbalah, all of these are tools for transformation, waiting to be rediscovered and applied in the context of today's spiritual journey. To answer the call to inner awakening is to step onto this ancient path, to become a modern-day initiate into the mysteries of the soul. This journey is not about escaping the world or retreating into isolation. It is about engaging with the world from a place of deep spiritual awareness, bringing the light of the divine into every aspect of life. It is about realizing that the power to transform your reality lies within you, and that by aligning with the deeper truths of the cosmos, you can live in harmony with the divine will. As you embark on this journey, it is important to cultivate a practice that supports your awakening. One such practice is the invocation of the higher self, a meditation that helps you align with your soul's true purpose and connect with the divine energies of transformation. Begin by sitting in a quiet space, breathing deeply, and centering yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, imagine a radiant light above you, shining down from the heavens. This light represents your higher self, the aspect of you that is eternally connected to the divine source. Visualize this light entering your body, filling every cell with its radiant energy. As you breathe, allow yourself to feel the presence of your higher self, guiding you, supporting you, and awakening the hidden truths within. As you continue this meditation, silently or aloud, ask your higher self to reveal the path of transformation that is meant for you. Trust that the answers will come, not necessarily in the form of words or thoughts, but as a deep inner knowing, a sense of clarity and purpose that begins to unfold within you. This practice, when done regularly, will help you stay aligned with your true self, keeping you connected to the divine wisdom that flows through all things. The call to inner awakening is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process, a deepening of awareness that unfolds over time. Each step on the path reveals new layers of truth, new opportunities for growth, and new insights into the nature of existence. As you walk this path, remember that you are not alone. You are part of a lineage of seekers, mystics, and adepts who have traversed this journey before you, leaving behind the wisdom and tools you need to succeed. In the chapters that follow, we will explore the teachings of Hermeticism, Alchemy, Gnosticism, and other esoteric traditions in greater depth. Each chapter will guide you through a different aspect of the awakening process, offering both philosophical insights and practical applications that will help you integrate this wisdom into your daily life. Together, we will unlock the mysteries of the universe, awaken the inner power of the soul, and embark on the transformative journey of spiritual self-mastery. Chapter 1. The Hermetic Principles, the Universal Laws of Awakening. At the heart of Hermetic wisdom lies a profound truth. The universe is governed by a set of universal laws, timeless principles that shape and guide all of existence. These principles are not bound by the limitations of human understanding or confined to any single tradition. They are eternal truths that transcend time, culture, and creed. Known as the 7 Hermetic Principles, these laws were first revealed by the legendary Hermes Trismegistus, the master sage and mystic whose teachings form the foundation of Hermetic philosophy. To understand these principles is to understand the hidden forces that govern the cosmos and, by extension, the inner workings of the soul. The 7 Hermetic Principles are not just abstract metaphysical ideas. They are living forces that can be consciously applied to one's spiritual awakening. They provide a framework for understanding the interplay between mind and matter, spirit and form, and reveal the ways in which the adept can harness these forces to align with the divine will and manifest their highest potential. Each principle serves as a key, unlocking a deeper layer of understanding about the nature of reality and the soul's place within it. The first of these principles, and arguably the most important, is the principle of mentalism. It teaches that the all is mind, the universe is mental. This fundamental truth reveals that everything in existence is a manifestation of the divine mind. The physical universe, the spiritual realms, even time and space themselves, are all products of the divine intellect. This principle not only shapes the cosmos but also shapes the individual soul, for as the divine mind creates the universe, so too does your own mind create your reality. To awaken spiritually, one must first recognize the power of thought and intention, understanding that your thoughts are not passive but are the very building blocks of your existence. Mentalism calls for a deep level of responsibility in the way we think and perceive the world. Every thought carries a vibrational frequency, and this frequency shapes the experiences we attract into our lives. Negative or fear-based thoughts draw lower vibrational energies, while positive, love-centered thoughts align us with higher frequencies of spiritual wisdom and truth. The spiritual aspirant must therefore cultivate mental discipline, learning to direct the mind toward the higher realities of love, wisdom, and divine purpose. The second principle, correspondence, reveals the hidden connection between all levels of reality. As above, so below. As below, so above. This principle teaches that the macrocosm, the vast universe, and the microcosm, the individual soul, are reflections of one another. The same forces that govern the movements of galaxies and stars are present within the cells of your body and the thoughts of your mind. By understanding the correspondences between different levels of existence, you can gain insight into the hidden workings of both the universe and your own soul. This principle invites you to look beyond the surface of things, to see the underlying unity that connects all aspects of reality. The third principle, vibration, states that nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This principle explains that everything in the universe, from the densest matter to the highest spiritual energy, is in constant motion, vibrating at different frequencies. This law is the key to understanding both physical reality and spiritual awakening. The lower the vibration, the more material and dense an object or thought becomes. The higher the vibration, the more spiritual and ethereal it is. Spiritual growth, therefore, involves raising your vibrational frequency, aligning your being with the higher energies of love, wisdom, and divine truth. To work with this principle consciously is to attune yourself to the subtle frequencies that govern the spiritual realms. Through practices like meditation, sound healing, and breathwork, you can raise your own vibrational frequency, opening yourself to higher states of consciousness and greater alignment with the divine. This principle also reveals that all things are interconnected by their vibration, and by shifting your own frequency, you influence the world around you. The fourth principle, polarity, reveals that everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. This principle teaches that all aspects of reality exist in a state of duality, light and dark, masculine and feminine, positive and negative. But these opposites are not in conflict. They are simply different manifestations of the same underlying essence. The spiritual path involves recognizing this unity and learning to balance the opposing forces within ourselves. In doing so, we achieve a state of harmony and transcend the illusions of duality. Polarity also reminds us that transformation is possible at every level. By shifting our focus from one pole to another, from fear to love, from ignorance to wisdom, we change our experience of reality. This principle is deeply tied to the process of alchemical transformation, where base elements are transmuted into higher states of being. To master polarity is to master the art of inner alchemy, turning darkness into light, fear into courage, and ignorance into divine knowledge. The fifth principle, rhythm, teaches that everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. This law speaks to the cyclical nature of the universe, where everything moves in patterns and cycles, birth, death, and rebirth. Understanding rhythm allows you to move with the natural flow of life, rather than resisting it. On the path of spiritual awakening, you will encounter times of growth and expansion, as well as times of contraction and introspection. Both are necessary, for the soul evolves through cycles, learning different lessons in each phase. By working with rhythm, you can learn to ride the waves of life with grace, knowing that every challenge is followed by a period of renewal, and every loss is followed by new growth. The adept must learn to trust the rhythms of the universe, understanding that all things come in their proper time. The sixth principle, cause and effect, reveals that every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. This is the law of karma, the understanding that every action, thought, and word has a consequence that reverberates through time and space. There is no randomness in the universe. Everything unfolds according to this law. As an adept, you must learn to become the master of your actions, consciously creating causes that align with your highest spiritual intentions. Finally, the seventh principle, gender, teaches that gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This principle is not merely about physical gender but about the fundamental duality of creation. Masculine energy is the active, creative force, while feminine energy is the receptive, nurturing force. Both are present in all things, and spiritual awakening requires the balance of these energies within yourself. By integrating the masculine and feminine aspects of your being, you achieve wholeness and spiritual mastery. Incorporating these principles into your life is not a passive endeavor. It is an active practice of spiritual alignment. To begin working with these laws, start with the principle of vibration. Find a quiet space and begin a simple sound meditation. Close your eyes and focus on the vibration of your breath as it moves in and out of your body. As you breathe, visualize a sound or tone that resonates with the highest part of your being, a sound that represents your connection to the divine. Allow this sound to vibrate through your entire being, raising your frequency, aligning your mind, body, and spirit with the higher planes of consciousness. This practice, done regularly, will help you to attune yourself to the higher vibrations of love, wisdom, and spiritual truth. Over time, you will begin to feel the subtle shifts in your energy, as your vibration rises and your alignment with the Hermetic Principles deepens. The 7 Hermetic Principles are more than just intellectual concepts. They are living truths that can transform your life. By applying these principles consciously, you unlock the door to spiritual awakening, aligning yourself with the divine forces that shape the universe. Through this alignment, you become a conscious co-creator with the divine, capable of shaping your reality and manifesting your highest potential. Chapter 2: Alchemical Transformation, Turning Lead into Gold Within. The ancient alchemists, in their secluded laboratories and hidden sanctuaries, sought to achieve the impossible, to transform base metals into gold. But this external quest was always a metaphor for a far greater journey: the transformation of the self, the transmutation of the soul from its base, material state into its divine, perfected form. Alchemy is not merely a physical science, but a spiritual path, an art of turning lead into gold within, where the base elements of human nature, fear, ignorance, attachment, are purified and refined into the radiant gold of wisdom, love, and spiritual enlightenment. At the heart of the alchemical tradition is the process of solve et coagula, dissolve and coagulate. This is the method by which the alchemist breaks down the old, unrefined aspects of the self, dissolving the false ego, and then coagulates, or solidifies, the purified essence into a new and higher state of being. This process is mirrored in every stage of spiritual awakening, as the soul undergoes cycles of dissolution and rebirth, shedding the layers of illusion and attachment that keep it bound to the material world, and ascending into the higher realms of consciousness. The stages of alchemical transformation are traditionally divided into 4 phases: nigredo, blackening; albedo, whitening; citrinitas, yellowing; and rubedo, reddening. Each of these stages corresponds to a phase of inner transformation, a step along the path of spiritual awakening that leads the soul from darkness to light, from ignorance to wisdom, from mortality to immortality. The first stage, nigredo, is the blackening, the death of the old self. In this phase, the soul must confront the darkest aspects of its nature, the shadow self that hides behind layers of fear, guilt, and attachment. This is the stage of dissolution, where the ego is broken down, and the illusions that have governed the soul's existence are stripped away. It is often a painful process, for the soul must confront its deepest wounds and fears, facing the darkness within before it can move toward the light. Yet, it is only through this confrontation with the shadow that the soul can be purified, preparing the way for the higher stages of transformation. The second stage, albedo, is the whitening, the purification of the soul. In this phase, the soul, having passed through the darkness of negredo, begins to experience the light of spiritual awakening. The ego, having been dissolved, is now cleansed and purified, and the soul begins to reflect the higher truths of the divine. This is a time of illumination, where the soul begins to see beyond the illusions of the material world and perceives the deeper realities that underlie existence. In albedo, the soul is bathed in the light of wisdom, gaining clarity and insight into the nature of reality and its own divine purpose. The third stage, citronides, is the yellowing, the dawning of spiritual wisdom. In this phase, the soul begins to integrate the lessons learned in albedo, moving from intellectual understanding to embodied wisdom. It is in this stage that the soul begins to live in alignment with the higher truths it has discovered, applying this wisdom to every aspect of life. Citronides is the stage of inner harmony, where the soul's inner light begins to shine more brightly, and the alchemical process of transformation moves toward its final stage. The fourth and final stage, rubedo, is the reddening, the completion of the great work. In this phase, the soul achieves its highest state of enlightenment, becoming the philosopher's stone, the perfected being who has united the material and spiritual realms within itself. This is the stage of spiritual mastery, where the soul, having passed through the trials of negredo, the purification of albedo, and the wisdom of citronides, now fully realizes its divine nature and its oneness with the cosmos. In rubedo, the soul has transcended the dualities of light and shadow, spirit and matter, masculine and feminine, and has achieved a state of unity and wholeness. The alchemical process is not merely an intellectual exercise but a deeply transformative journey that requires the full engagement of the body, mind, and spirit. Each stage of the process corresponds to a specific aspect of the soul's evolution, and each stage offers profound insights into the nature of the self and the universe. But the true power of alchemy lies in its practical application, the ways in which the alchemist can use this ancient wisdom to transform their own life and bring about spiritual awakening. To work with the alchemical process consciously, one must first become aware of the inner negredo, the aspects of the self that need to be dissolved. This requires a willingness to confront the shadow, to face the fears, attachments, and limiting beliefs that keep the soul bound to the material world. This is not a process of suppression or denial, but of honest self-examination, where the alchemist brings the light of awareness to the darkest corners of the psyche. Through meditation, journaling, and introspection, the alchemist identifies the parts of the self that need to be dissolved, allowing them to be released so that the purification process can begin. Once the old self has been dissolved, the alchemist moves into the stage of albedo, where the soul is purified and cleansed. This is a time of healing, where the alchemist focuses on cultivating higher states of consciousness and aligning with the divine. Practices such as meditation, energy healing, and visualization can be used to cleanse the energy body and align the soul with the higher realms of light. During this stage, the alchemist often experiences moments of deep insight and spiritual clarity, as the false self is stripped away and the true self begins to emerge. In the stage of citronides, the alchemist works to integrate these insights into daily life. This is a time of applying the wisdom gained in albedo, bringing the light of spiritual truth into every aspect of existence. The alchemist begins to live in alignment with the divine will, making choices that reflect the soul's higher purpose and acting from a place of love, compassion, and wisdom. This is the stage where the alchemical process moves from the inner world to the outer world, where the soul's inner transformation begins to manifest in the material realm. Finally, in the stage of rubedo, the alchemist achieves spiritual mastery. This is not a state of perfection, but a state of ongoing evolution, where the soul continues to expand and evolve, even as it realizes its oneness with the divine. The alchemist becomes the philosopher's stone, the living embodiment of the great work, capable of transforming not only their own life but the lives of others through their presence, wisdom, and love. A personal alchemical ritual can help initiate this process of transformation. Begin by sitting in a quiet, sacred space, lighting a candle to represent the inner flame of transformation. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, centering yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, imagine a dark, heavy stone within your heart. This stone represents the base elements of your ego, the fears, attachments, and limiting beliefs that need to be dissolved. As you breathe, visualize this stone beginning to dissolve, breaking down into pure energy. Allow this energy to flow through your body, cleansing and purifying every cell. As the stone dissolves, visualize a radiant golden light beginning to emerge from within you, filling your entire being with its warmth and brilliance. This light represents your true self, the divine essence that is being awakened through the alchemical process. Sit with this light, feeling its transformative power, and allow yourself to rest in the knowledge that you are undergoing the great work, the process of turning lead into gold within. Through this practice, you will begin to experience the stages of alchemical transformation in your own life, moving from the dissolution of the ego, through the purification of the soul, to the realization of your divine nature. The path of alchemy is not an easy one, but it is a path of profound transformation, where the soul is awakened to its highest potential and its true purpose in the cosmos. Chapter 3. The Sacred Union of Opposites, Embracing Duality on the Path. Deep within the ancient traditions of esoteric wisdom lies a teaching that speaks to the very heart of spiritual awakening, the sacred union of opposites. This principle, often referred to as the alchemical marriage, teaches that the path to spiritual mastery is found not in denying the polarities of existence, but in embracing and harmonizing them. This union is the synthesis of dualities, masculine and feminine, light and shadow, spirit and matter, conscious and unconscious. It is through the merging of these opposites that the adept moves toward wholeness, transcending the limitations of duality and experiencing the fullness of divine unity. The conjunctio, as it is known in alchemy, is one of the most profound stages in the alchemical process. It represents the union of Sol and Luna, the sun and the moon, symbolic of the masculine and feminine energies that exist within each of us. These energies are not merely physical or gender-based, they are archetypal forces that shape the very fabric of our being. The masculine principle, symbolized by the sun, represents action, will, and reason. The feminine principle, symbolized by the moon, represents intuition, receptivity, and emotion. Both are essential, and both must be brought into harmony for the soul to achieve spiritual balance. In the Hermetic tradition, this principle is expressed through the law of polarity, which states that everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Light and dark, hot and cold, life and death, all are manifestations of the same underlying energy, simply expressed at different points along the same spectrum. The adept learns that opposites are not in conflict, but are complementary forces that, when united, reveal a higher truth. The path to spiritual awakening, therefore, is not about choosing one over the other, but about integrating both, finding the divine unity that lies beneath the apparent separation. The journey toward this sacred union begins with self-awareness. Within each of us, the masculine and feminine energies are often out of balance. We may overemphasize logic and action, neglecting our emotional and intuitive selves, or we may be overly passive and receptive, lacking the will and focus to act upon our insights. This inner imbalance manifests in our external lives, creating disharmony in our relationships, careers, and personal development. The first step towards spiritual awakening, therefore, is to recognize these imbalances and to begin the process of integrating the polarities within. One of the most powerful tools for this integration is the practice of shadow work. The shadow, as described by psychologist Carl Jung and explored deeply in esoteric traditions, represents the unconscious aspects of ourselves, the parts of us that we have repressed or denied, often because they do not align with our conscious self-image. The shadow is often associated with the darker aspects of human nature, fear, anger, jealousy, but it also contains great gifts, such as creativity, power, and passion. In alchemy, the shadow is associated with nigredo, the blackening, the stage of dissolution where the old self is broken down so that a new, more integrated self can emerge. To embrace the shadow is to embrace the dualities within ourselves, to acknowledge that we are both light and dark, both saint and sinner. The adept does not seek to eradicate the shadow but to bring it into the light of consciousness, integrating its energy in a balanced and harmonious way. This is the first step toward the alchemical marriage, the union of conscious and unconscious, light and shadow, into a more complete and authentic self. As the adept works to integrate the shadow, the next stage is the balancing of the masculine and feminine energies within. In many spiritual traditions, these energies are depicted as divine counterparts, often symbolized as the god and goddess, or the king and queen. In alchemy, they are represented by Sol and Luna, and their union is depicted as a sacred marriage. This union is not merely symbolic but represents a deep inner process, where the adept learns to balance action with intuition, logic with emotion, and will with receptivity. When these energies are harmonized, the individual experiences a state of inner wholeness, where the dualities of life are no longer seen as opposing forces but as complementary aspects of the same divine reality. One of the key teachings of this process is that masculine and feminine energies exist within all beings, regardless of gender. The masculine principle, Sol, represents the active, outward-directed energy that creates, initiates, and manifests. It is the force of will, clarity, and direction. The feminine principle, Luna, represents the inward, receptive energy that nurtures, reflects, and contains. It is the force of intuition, feeling, and connection. Both are necessary for spiritual growth. Without the masculine, we lack the drive and clarity to act in the world. Without the feminine, we lack the wisdom and insight to guide our actions in alignment with the divine. The practice of balancing these energies can take many forms, but one of the most powerful is the practice of conscious embodiment. This involves engaging in practices that cultivate both masculine and feminine qualities within, creating a harmonious flow between action and reflection, will and intuition. For example, meditation, yoga, or Tai Chi can help balance the energies within the body and mind, allowing the adept to move with grace and power through the world. Journaling and creative expression can help to unlock the feminine, intuitive wisdom within, while focused goal setting and decisive action can activate the masculine principle. A practical meditative practice for integrating masculine and feminine energies begins by sitting quietly in a sacred space. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, grounding yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, visualize a radiant sun above your head, shining with golden light. This sun represents your masculine energy, your power, will, and clarity. Feel the warmth of this light as it fills your body, energizing and empowering you. Next, visualize a glowing moon at your feet, radiating soft, silvery light. This moon represents your feminine energy, your intuition, receptivity, and emotional depth. Allow the cool, soothing energy of the moon to rise up through your body, calming and centering you. As you continue to breathe, imagine these two energies, the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine, merging in your heart center. Feel them blending into one harmonious force, a perfect balance of action and reflection, will and wisdom. Allow this unified energy to fill your entire being, bringing you into a state of inner wholeness and peace. Through this practice, you begin to experience the sacred union of opposites within yourself, harmonizing the polarities that once seemed to be in conflict. Over time, this balance will begin to manifest in your outer life, bringing greater harmony to your relationships, your work, and your spiritual practice. The Konyoungshio, or sacred union, is not a one-time event but an ongoing process. As you continue on the path of spiritual awakening, you will encounter new layers of duality within yourself and the world. Each time, you are invited to embrace these dualities, to integrate them, and to move toward a deeper state of unity. This is the essence of the alchemical path, the continual dissolution of the old self and the emergence of the new, more integrated self, until you reach the final stage of the great work, where all dualities are transcended, and you stand as a unified, divine being. Chapter 4. The Divine Spark, Gnostic Wisdom of Self-Realization. Within the Gnostic traditions, there exists a profound and often hidden truth, a truth that has the power to transform the very foundation of your spiritual journey. This is the teaching of the divine spark, the belief that within each of us resides a fragment of the divine, a piece of the ultimate source, waiting to be recognized and awakened. The Gnostics, who sought direct knowledge of the divine, understood that this spark is the key to our liberation from the limitations of the material world and the gateway to self-realization. To awaken this divine spark is to awaken to our true nature, transcending the illusions of the material world and reclaiming our place within the higher realms of existence. In Gnosticism, the material world is seen as a place of limitation and entrapment, created by false rulers known as the archons. These beings govern the physical realm, seeking to keep the soul in ignorance of its divine origin. The soul, trapped within the physical body, forgets its true nature and becomes enmeshed in the desires and attachments of the material world. The Gnostic teachings reveal that the soul's journey is one of remembering, of awakening to the divine spark within and recognizing that we are not bound by the illusions of the physical plane, but are, in fact, infinite, divine beings. This divine spark is often referred to as the pneuma, the breath or spirit of the divine, which has been implanted within each soul by the ultimate source of creation, known in Gnosticism as the pleroma, or the fullness of divine light. The soul, though immersed in the material world, carries within it this seed of divine light, which, when nurtured and awakened, allows the individual to ascend beyond the false reality of the material world and reunite with the divine source. The journey towards self-realization, therefore, is a process of awakening this divine spark and reclaiming the soul's divine heritage. This process is not achieved through intellectual understanding or outward religious practice, but through direct inner experience, gnosis. The word gnosis means knowledge, but it refers to a specific kind of knowledge, not knowledge of the mind, but knowledge of the heart and soul. It is the inner knowing that arises when the divine spark is fully awakened, allowing the soul to see beyond the illusions of the material world and perceive the truth of its own divine nature. To begin this process of awakening, the Gnostic teachings guide the seeker inward, encouraging deep introspection, self-inquiry, and the cultivation of direct spiritual experience. The adept must first come to recognize the ways in which they have been trapped by the illusions of the material world, the attachments to wealth, power, and status, the fears and desires that keep them bound to the physical plane. These are the chains that bind the divine spark, keeping it dormant and hidden. The first step in awakening is to dissolve these chains, to release the attachments and illusions that prevent the soul from realizing its true nature. In the Gnostic view, The physical body and the material world are not inherently evil, but they are distractions, temporary forms that can trap the soul in cycles of ignorance and reincarnation. The adept must learn to see through these distractions, recognizing that the material world is only a reflection of a deeper spiritual reality. By cultivating detachment from material desires and focusing on the inner light, the soul begins to awaken, gradually remembering its divine origin. This process of awakening is deeply personal and unique to each individual, but it often begins with a moment of gnosis, a sudden flash of insight or spiritual realization that reveals the truth of one's divine nature. This moment can come in the form of a mystical experience, a profound dream, or an encounter with a spiritual teaching that resonates deeply with the soul. Once this initial spark of realization has been ignited, the journey of self-realization begins in earnest, as the adept seeks to deepen their connection with the divine spark and integrate this knowledge into every aspect of their life. The Gnostic texts, many of which were discovered in the 20th century as part of the Nag Hammadi library, contain rich teachings on the nature of the soul and its journey toward liberation. In the Gospel of Thomas, for example, Jesus is depicted as teaching that the kingdom of God is not an external place but is within each of us. If those who lead you say to you, "See, the kingdom is in the sky," then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, "It is in the sea," then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will become known, and you will realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father. This teaching reflects the essence of Gnosis, the understanding that the divine is not something external or distant, but is within us. The divine spark resides in each of us, waiting to be recognized and awakened. The journey of spiritual awakening, therefore, is not about seeking something outside of ourselves, but about turning inward, discovering the truth of our own divine nature, and realizing that we are, in fact, one with the source of all creation. A practical way to begin awakening the divine spark is through meditation, particularly a meditation designed to connect with the inner light of the pneuma. This practice is called the Light of the Divine Spark meditation. Begin by sitting in a quiet space, free from distractions. Close your eyes and take several deep, calming breaths, centering yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, visualize a small spark of light deep within your heart center. This light represents your divine spark, the piece of the pleroma that resides within you. As you focus on this spark, see it growing brighter with each breath, expanding outward, filling your entire chest with its radiance. Allow this light to continue expanding, filling your entire body, illuminating every cell with its divine energy. As the light fills your body, imagine it dissolving any blocks or limitations, freeing you from the attachments and illusions of the material world. Feel yourself becoming lighter, more expansive, as the light of the divine spark merges with the light of the universe, connecting you with the infinite source of all creation. Rest in this state of illumination, knowing that you are a part of the divine, that the divine spark within you is eternal, and that it is the key to your spiritual liberation. Stay with this feeling as long as you are comfortable, and when you are ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment, carrying the sense of inner light and divine connection with you. As you continue to practice this meditation, you will deepen your connection with the divine spark, gradually awakening to your true nature as a divine being. Over time, this awareness will begin to transform your entire perspective, as you learn to see the world not through the lens of material illusion but through the eyes of the soul. You will begin to recognize the divine spark in others, seeing that all beings are expressions of the same divine source, each on their own journey toward awakening. The journey of self-realization is a lifelong process, one that requires patience, dedication, and a willingness to face the truth of who we are, both the light and the shadow. But the reward is beyond measure, For in awakening the divine spark, we reclaim our place within the cosmos, as co-creators with the divine, beings of infinite potential and eternal light. Chapter 5. As above, so below, the microcosm and macrocosm. The ancient Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, as below, so above, holds within it one of the most profound keys to understanding the relationship between the individual soul and the vast cosmos. This teaching reveals that the universe is not a random, chaotic expanse, but an intricate, ordered system where the smallest and the greatest reflect one another. The human being, what the ancients called the microcosm, is a mirror of the universe, the macrocosm. By understanding the correspondences between the individual and the cosmos, we unlock the deeper mysteries of existence and gain insight into the hidden workings of the soul. In Hermetic philosophy, the universe is seen as a divine organism, where every part is connected to the whole, and where the same principles govern both the stars in the heavens and the cells in our bodies. This interconnectedness is not simply a poetic metaphor, but a fundamental truth about the nature of reality. The forces that shape galaxies and stars also shape human consciousness, and by studying the macrocosmic forces, we can come to understand the inner workings of the self. This teaching can be found in many esoteric traditions. In the Kabbalistic system, for instance, the tree of life is both a map of the cosmos and a diagram of the human soul. Each sephira on the tree of life corresponds to a specific aspect of creation, but also to a part of the human body or psyche. The top of the tree, Kether, represents the divine crown, the pure, unmanifest source of all being, while Malkuth, the bottom of the tree, represents the material world, the physical body, and the grounding of spirit into matter. The journey up the tree of life mirrors the soul's ascent from the physical world back to its divine origin, while the descent of divine light through the tree represents the process by which the universe comes into being. Similarly, in Eastern traditions like Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of chakras, the energy centers within the body, reflects the principle of as above, so below. Each chakra corresponds to a different level of consciousness, from the base instincts of survival, root chakra, to the highest states of spiritual enlightenment, crown chakra. These energy centers are mirrors of the cosmic forces that govern the universe, and by working with the chakras, we align ourselves with the energies of the cosmos, opening ourselves to higher levels of awareness. The microcosm and macrocosm also reflect one another through the principle of correspondence, one of the 7 Hermetic Principles. This principle teaches that the same patterns and laws that operate in the larger universe also operate within the individual. Just as the planets revolve around the sun, the human psyche revolves around the central point of consciousness, and just as the universe undergoes cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, so too does the soul experience these cycles through the process of spiritual evolution. Understanding these correspondences is essential for spiritual awakening, because it shows us that the journey toward self-realization is not separate from the workings of the universe, but is part of the same cosmic process. The same forces that shape stars and galaxies also shape our thoughts, emotions, and spiritual growth. By attuning ourselves to these forces, we can accelerate our spiritual evolution, aligning ourselves with the rhythms of the cosmos and unlocking the deeper mysteries of the soul. One of the most important insights offered by the principle of as above, so below, is the recognition that our outer world is a reflection of our inner state. Just as the universe mirrors the soul, so too does the external world mirror our internal landscape. If we experience conflict, chaos, or imbalance in our lives, it is often because these same forces are at play within us. By bringing harmony to our inner world, by aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with higher truths, we naturally bring harmony to our outer world as well. This understanding is central to the practice of esoteric alchemy, where the goal is to transform the base elements of the self into the gold of spiritual enlightenment. The alchemist recognizes that the physical process of turning lead into gold is a metaphor for the inner process of transforming ignorance and limitation into wisdom and divine realization. The same principles that govern the transformation of matter also govern the transformation of consciousness, and by working with these principles, the alchemist brings the inner and outer worlds into harmony. To begin working with the principle of, as above, so below, in your own life, it is important to develop an awareness of the correspondences between the physical body, the energy body, and the cosmos. One way to do this is through the practice of cosmic alignment visualization. This exercise helps to align the personal energy centers, chakras, with the cosmic forces, creating a bridge between the microcosm and the macrocosm, and attuning your consciousness to the higher rhythms of the universe. To begin the cosmic alignment visualization, find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. As you breathe, imagine yourself sitting beneath a vast, star-filled sky, with the stars twinkling above you, each one representing a different aspect of the cosmos. Feel the connection between your body and the earth, grounding yourself in the material world, while also reaching upward toward the heavens, where the divine light shines. As you sit in this space, bring your awareness to your root chakra, located at the base of your spine. This chakra is connected to the element of earth, grounding you in the physical world. Visualize a beam of red light, representing the earth's energy, rising up from the ground and entering your root chakra, filling it with strength, stability, and grounding. Next, bring your awareness to your sacral chakra, located just below your navel. This chakra is connected to the element of water, representing emotion, creativity, and flow. Visualize a beam of orange light, representing the flowing energies of the cosmos, filling your sacral chakra, balancing your emotions and enhancing your creative potential. Move your awareness to your solar plexus chakra, located just above your navel. This chakra is connected to the element of fire, representing willpower, transformation, and personal power. Visualize a beam of yellow light, the light of the sun, entering your solar plexus chakra, filling you with confidence, strength, and the power to create change in your life. Bring your awareness to your heart chakra, located at the center of your chest. This chakra is connected to the element of air, representing love, compassion, and the connection between the personal and the universal. Visualize a beam of green light, the light of divine love, entering your heart chakra, filling you with a sense of connection to all beings and to the cosmos itself. Next, focus on your throat chakra, located at your throat. This chakra is connected to the element of ether, representing communication, truth, and higher expression. Visualize a beam of blue light entering your throat chakra, allowing you to speak your truth with clarity and to express the higher truths of the universe. Now, bring your awareness to your third eye chakra, located at the center of your forehead. This chakra is connected to intuition, wisdom, and higher perception. Visualize a beam of indigo light entering your third eye, opening your inner vision and allowing you to perceive the deeper truths of the cosmos. Finally, focus on your crown chakra, located at the top of your head. This chakra is connected to divine consciousness, representing your connection to the higher realms and the source of all creation. Visualize a beam of violet or white light, the light of the cosmos, entering your crown chakra, filling you with divine wisdom and aligning you with the infinite. As you sit in this space, feel the connection between your individual energy centers and the vast cosmos. Know that you are both a microcosm of the universe and an integral part of the whole. Allow this awareness to deepen within you, bringing a sense of peace, harmony, and alignment with the greater forces that shape both your life and the universe itself. The principle of, as above, so below, is a reminder that the individual and the universe are inseparable, that the same forces that govern the stars also govern the soul. By aligning ourselves with these forces, we open the door to spiritual awakening, discovering the deeper truths of existence and our place within the divine order. Chapter 6: The Veil of Illusion, Transcending the Material World. In the esoteric traditions of both the East and the West, there exists a powerful concept known as Maya, the veil of illusion that shrouds our perception and keeps us bound to the material world. It is the mist that obscures the soul's vision, causing it to mistake the fleeting, impermanent world of form for ultimate reality. To awaken spiritually is to see through this veil, to recognize the ephemeral nature of the physical plane, and to glimpse the eternal truths that lie beyond it. In this chapter, we will explore the nature of this veil and the ways in which it can be transcended, allowing the soul to return to its true, divine vision. The veil of illusion has many forms. It manifests in the attachments, desires, and fears that keep us bound to the physical world, and it is reinforced by the material structures of society that encourage us to seek fulfillment outside of ourselves. Wealth, power, status, and physical pleasure all contribute to the strengthening of the veil, pulling the soul further from the truth of its divine nature. But this veil is not only external, it is also internal, woven from the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that cloud our perception. To see through the veil is to realize that the material world, though real in its own way, is not the ultimate reality. It is a shadow, a reflection of a higher, spiritual truth. In the Gnostic tradition, the material world is described as a prison, created by the archons, the rulers of the physical plane, who seek to keep the soul in ignorance. The Gnostics taught that the physical world, with all its pleasures and pains, is a deception, a trap that keeps the soul from realizing its divine origin. This is not to say that the material world is evil, but that it is incomplete, a partial reality that can ensnare the soul if it is mistaken for the whole. The goal of the spiritual path, therefore, is to pierce through this veil of illusion and to return to the fullness of divine knowledge, or gnosis. In the teachings of the East, particularly in Vedanta and Buddhism, Maya is similarly seen as the veil that obscures the true nature of reality. The physical world, with all its forms and phenomena, is a projection of the mind, a dreamlike illusion that distracts the soul from its higher purpose. According to these traditions, the material world is impermanent and ever-changing, and to become attached to it is to suffer. Enlightenment, or spiritual awakening, is the process of seeing through Maya, recognizing the illusory nature of the world, and realizing the unchanging, eternal truth that lies beyond. The Hermetic tradition also speaks of the veil of illusion, teaching that the physical world is a reflection of the divine mind. The material world, while not inherently negative, is a lower manifestation of the higher, spiritual realms. The principle of mentalism, one of the 7 Hermetic Principles, reveals that the all is mind, the universe is mental. This teaching implies that the physical world is not the ultimate reality, but a mental construct that can be transcended through the awakening of higher consciousness. To transcend the veil of illusion, one must first recognize its presence. This requires a deep level of self-awareness and an understanding of the ways in which the material world influences our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. The spiritual path involves turning inward, away from the distractions of the external world, and cultivating a direct experience of the divine. This is the practice of spiritual discernment, learning to distinguish between the temporary and the eternal, between the surface appearance of things and the deeper truths that lie beneath. One of the most effective tools for piercing through the veil of illusion is the practice of meditation. In meditation, the mind becomes still, and the distractions of the physical world begin to fade away. As the mind quiets, the deeper layers of consciousness are revealed, and the soul begins to perceive the truth of its divine nature. The more the adept meditates, the more they become attuned to the higher realities of the spiritual plane, and the less they are influenced by the illusions of the material world. Another powerful practice for transcending the veil is detachment. Detachment does not mean renouncing the physical world or abandoning one's responsibilities, but it does mean releasing the attachments and desires that bind us to the material plane. It is the recognition that all things in the material world are temporary and that true fulfillment can only be found in the eternal. By cultivating detachment, the soul frees itself from the pull of material desires and is able to focus more fully on its spiritual growth. The Gnostic texts speak of the spiritual eye, or eye of the heart, a metaphor for the soul's ability to see beyond the physical realm. This spiritual sight is awakened through inner work, through meditation, prayer, and the cultivation of wisdom. As the spiritual eye opens, the adept begins to perceive the divine light that shines behind the veil of illusion. This light, the light of the pleroma, the fullness of divine presence, is the true reality, the source from which all things emanate and to which all things return. The veil of illusion also manifests in our relationships with others. Often, we see people not as they truly are, but as projections of our own desires, fears, or judgments. This creates a barrier between us and the true essence of others, preventing us from experiencing genuine connection. The practice of seeing beyond the veil involves looking past the surface appearances of others and recognizing the divine spark within them. By doing so, we cultivate compassion, understanding, and a deeper sense of unity with all beings. A practical meditation for seeing through the veil of illusion is the meditation on divine perception. Begin by sitting in a quiet space, free from distractions. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. As you breathe, imagine that you are surrounded by a dense fog or mist. This mist represents the veil of illusion that clouds your perception. With each breath, imagine this mist slowly beginning to dissolve, as though a light is shining from within you, clearing away the fog. As the mist clears, visualize a radiant light emerging from your heart center. This light represents your true, divine nature, the part of you that is eternal and unchanging. Focus on this light, allowing it to grow stronger and brighter with each breath. As you continue to breathe, imagine this light expanding outward, filling your entire being and dissolving any remaining illusions or false perceptions. Now, as you sit in this state of clarity, bring to mind a situation in your life where you have been caught in illusion, perhaps a relationship, a material desire, or a fear that has kept you bound. Visualize this situation in your mind, and as you do, allow the light of your divine perception to shine upon it. See through the surface appearances, recognizing the deeper truth that lies beneath. Ask yourself, what is the eternal lesson in this situation? What higher truth is being revealed? As you continue this meditation, allow the light of your inner truth to dissolve any attachments, fears, or desires that are keeping you bound to the material world. Rest in the awareness that you are not defined by the temporary circumstances of your life, but by the eternal light that shines within you. Through regular practice, this meditation will help you to see through the veil of illusion, both in your own life and in the world around you. Over time, you will begin to perceive the deeper spiritual truths that underlie all things, and you will develop the discernment to navigate the material world with wisdom and grace. The journey of spiritual awakening is a journey of seeing clearly, of piercing through the veil of illusion and recognizing the divine presence that permeates all of existence. As you move forward on this path, remember that the material world, though beautiful and compelling, is only a reflection of a higher reality. By cultivating detachment, discernment, and inner vision, you will transcend the illusions that bind you and awaken to the eternal truths that have been waiting for you all along. Chapter 7. Esoteric Anatomy, Unlocking the Power of the Subtle Body. Beyond the physical form lies a hidden, subtle body, a network of energy centers, channels, and pathways that govern not only the health of the body but also the flow of spiritual energy. This subtle body is the foundation of esoteric anatomy, an ancient understanding shared by many mystical traditions that teaches how the energies of the universe are mirrored within us. To unlock the power of the subtle body is to open the gates to higher consciousness, spiritual healing, and personal transformation. By working with these energy centers, we can access untapped reservoirs of inner power and align ourselves with the divine forces that shape the cosmos. The concept of the subtle body is found in various spiritual traditions around the world. In Hinduism and Buddhism, it is understood through the chakra system, where each chakra corresponds to a specific energy center in the body. In Kabbalah, the Tree of Life maps out the energy pathways between different aspects of the divine and the human soul, while in Taoism, the meridian system is used to describe the flow of qi, or life force, through the body. Though these systems may vary in their details, they all point to the same truth, that the physical body is only the outermost layer of a vast energetic system that connects us to the universe. The chakras, or energy centers, form the foundation of the subtle body in the esoteric anatomy. These chakras are like spinning wheels or vortexes of energy, each one associated with a different aspect of human life: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. The 7 primary chakras align along the spine, starting at the base and moving up to the crown of the head. Each chakra has its own unique frequency, color, and function, and when these chakras are balanced and activated, the flow of energy throughout the body becomes harmonious, leading to greater well-being and spiritual awakening. The first chakra, the root chakra, Muladhara, is located at the base of the spine and is associated with the element of earth. It governs our sense of security, grounding, and connection to the material world. When this chakra is balanced, we feel stable, safe, and connected to the earth. However, when it is blocked, we may experience fear, insecurity, or a disconnection from the physical body. The second chakra, the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, is located just below the navel and is associated with the element of water. It governs our emotions, creativity, and relationships. This chakra is the center of pleasure, desire, and emotional balance. When it is flowing freely, we feel creative, emotionally balanced, and open to healthy relationships. When blocked, we may experience emotional instability, creative blockages, or issues with intimacy. The third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, Manipura, is located above the navel and is associated with the element of fire. It governs our willpower, personal power, and sense of self. This chakra is the seat of our inner strength and confidence. When balanced, we feel empowered, self-assured, and capable of manifesting our desires. When blocked, we may experience low self-esteem, lack of direction, or issues with personal boundaries. The fourth chakra, the heart chakra, Anahata, is located at the center of the chest and is associated with the element of air. It governs love, compassion, and connection to others. This chakra is the bridge between the lower, more material chakras and the higher, spiritual chakras. When it is balanced, we feel love, empathy, and compassion for ourselves and others. When blocked, we may experience feelings of loneliness, jealousy, or a closed heart. The fifth chakra, the throat chakra, Vishuddha, is located at the throat and is associated with the element of ether. It governs communication, expression, and truth. This chakra allows us to speak our truth and express our authentic selves. When it is open and balanced, we can communicate clearly and effectively. When blocked, we may experience difficulty in expressing ourselves or a fear of speaking up. The sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, Ajna, is located between the eyebrows and is associated with intuition, wisdom, and higher perception. This chakra allows us to access our inner vision and see beyond the physical world. When it is balanced, we experience clarity, insight, and intuitive understanding. When blocked, we may struggle with confusion, lack of focus, or difficulty trusting our intuition. The seventh chakra, the crown chakra, Sahasrara, is located at the top of the head and is associated with divine consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. This chakra connects us to the divine, allowing us to experience unity with the universe. When it is open and balanced, we feel a deep sense of peace, oneness, and connection to the higher realms. When blocked, we may feel disconnected from the divine or experience a sense of spiritual disillusionment. In addition to the chakras, esoteric anatomy also includes the meridians or energy channels that carry life force throughout the body. These meridians are like rivers of energy, connecting the chakras and ensuring the smooth flow of prana, life energy, through the physical and subtle bodies. Blockages in these meridians can lead to physical, emotional, or spiritual imbalances, and clearing these channels is essential for maintaining health and well-being. The concept of the subtle body is also reflected in the Kabbalistic tree of life, where each sephira represents a different aspect of the divine and corresponds to specific aspects of the human experience. The tree of life maps the path from the material world, Malkuth, to the divine source, Kether, showing how the human soul ascends through different levels of consciousness, aligning with the divine at each stage. This ascent is a mirror of the journey through the chakras, as the individual moves from the earthly, material plane to the highest realms of spiritual awareness. Unlocking the power of the subtle body involves more than just intellectual understanding. It requires direct experience and practice. Meditation, energy healing, and breathwork are some of the most effective tools for activating the energy centers and clearing the meridians, allowing the life force to flow freely through the body. One powerful practice for activating the chakras and balancing the subtle body is the chakra activation meditation. This meditation helps to awaken each energy center and bring the entire system into harmony, allowing the practitioner to tap into their full spiritual potential. To begin the chakra activation meditation, find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. As you breathe, bring your awareness to the base of your spine, where your root chakra is located. Visualize a glowing red light here, representing the energy of the earth. As you inhale, imagine this red light growing brighter, filling your entire body with its grounding, stabilizing energy. As you exhale, release any fear, insecurity, or tension, allowing yourself to feel safe and supported by the earth. Next, move your awareness to your sacral chakra, located just below your navel. Visualize an orange light here, representing the energy of creativity and emotional balance. As you inhale, see this orange light expanding, filling your body with its warm, flowing energy. As you exhale, release any emotional blockages or creative stagnation, allowing yourself to feel open and inspired. Now bring your awareness to your solar plexus chakra, located above your navel. Visualize a bright yellow light here, representing the energy of personal power and will. As you inhale, see this yellow light growing stronger, filling you with confidence and inner strength. As you exhale, release any doubts or fears about your ability to manifest your desires, allowing yourself to feel empowered and capable. Next, focus on your heart chakra, located at the center of your chest. Visualize a soft green light here, representing the energy of love and compassion. As you inhale, feel this green light expanding, filling your body with love and connection. As you exhale, release any feelings of loneliness or jealousy, allowing yourself to feel deeply connected to all beings. Now bring your awareness to your throat chakra. Visualize a blue light here, representing the energy of truth and communication. As you inhale, see this blue light growing brighter, filling you with the ability to express your authentic self. As you exhale, release any fear of speaking your truth, allowing yourself to communicate with clarity and confidence. Next, move your awareness to your third eye chakra, located between your eyebrows. Visualize an indigo light here, representing the energy of intuition and wisdom. As you inhale, see this indigo light expanding, opening your inner vision and allowing you to see beyond the physical world. As you exhale, release any confusion or doubt, trusting in your intuitive insights. Finally, bring your awareness to your crown chakra, located at the top of your head. Visualize a violet or white light here, representing divine consciousness. As you inhale, feel this light filling your entire being, connecting you with the infinite source of all creation. As you exhale, release any feelings of disconnection or spiritual confusion, allowing yourself to feel deeply connected to the divine. As you sit in this state of alignment, feel the energy of the cosmos flowing through your body, activating your chakras and bringing your subtle body into harmony with the universe. Know that you are both an individual and a reflection of the cosmos, and that by aligning your subtle body, you are aligning with the greater forces of creation. Through regular practice of this meditation, you will begin to unlock the full power of your subtle body, accessing deeper levels of consciousness and spiritual awareness. The subtle body is the bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, and by working with it consciously, you can tap into the divine energies that shape both your personal evolution and the evolution of the cosmos. Chapter 8. Rituals of the Sacred Mind, Accessing Higher Consciousness. Ritual has always been a powerful tool for accessing higher states of consciousness, bridging the gap between the mundane and the divine. From the ancient temples of Egypt to the secluded chambers of Hermetic and Rosicrucian orders, ritual has served as a sacred method for attuning the soul to the higher planes, aligning the mind with divine wisdom, and opening the heart to the mysteries of the cosmos. Rituals, when performed with intention and awareness, act as gateways, transforming ordinary moments into moments of divine connection, where the practitioner is lifted beyond the physical and enters the realm of the sacred mind. In many esoteric traditions, rituals are designed to awaken the higher faculties of the mind and soul, allowing the practitioner to connect with higher consciousness and divine energies. These rituals are not mere ceremonial acts. They are carefully constructed symbolic processes that mirror the cosmic forces and reflect the internal journey of the soul. Whether invoking divine energies, opening the gates of wisdom, or aligning with the elemental forces of nature, rituals provide a tangible framework through which the unseen forces of the universe can be accessed and worked with directly. One of the most important aspects of ritual is its ability to shift the consciousness of the practitioner. Through the use of symbols, invocations, movements, and focused intention, rituals bring the mind into alignment with higher frequencies, allowing the practitioner to step out of the everyday world of distractions and into the world of divine presence. The repetition of sacred words, the lighting of candles, the tracing of symbols, all these actions are designed to bypass the rational mind and open the heart and soul to a deeper, more intuitive understanding of the divine. The Hermetic and Egyptian traditions, in particular, have long emphasized the use of ritual as a means of invoking higher consciousness. In ancient Egypt, priests and initiates performed elaborate rituals in the temples, invoking the presence of the gods and channeling divine energies into the world. These rituals were designed not only to honor the divine but also to create a sacred space where the individual could connect directly with the spiritual forces that govern the universe. The symbols used in these rituals, such as the Ankh, the Eye of Horus, and the sacred scarab, were not mere decorations but powerful keys that opened the door to higher wisdom. In Hermeticism, ritual is seen as a method for aligning the microcosm, the individual, with the macrocosm, the universe. The Hermetic Principle, as above, so below, is at the heart of this practice, showing that by performing certain actions and focusing on specific symbols, the practitioner can influence both their internal world and the greater forces of the cosmos. Rituals in the Hermetic tradition often involve the invocation of divine names, the tracing of sacred geometric symbols, and the alignment of the individual's energy centers with the celestial bodies. These rituals serve as a way of harmonizing the practitioner with the higher laws of the universe, opening the mind to higher truths and aligning the soul with the divine will. One of the most powerful rituals in the Hermetic tradition is the ritual of divine invocation, which is used to connect with higher consciousness and invoke the presence of divine wisdom. This ritual calls upon the higher forces of the cosmos to guide the practitioner, open the gates of wisdom, and reveal the hidden mysteries of existence. It is a ritual of alignment, where the practitioner becomes a vessel for divine light and wisdom, opening themselves to the higher realms and allowing the divine energies to flow through them. To perform the ritual of divine invocation, you will need a quiet space where you can work undisturbed, a candle to represent the divine light, and a sacred symbol that resonates with your spiritual path, such as the Ankh, the Eye of Horus, or a symbol from your own tradition. Begin by lighting the candle and placing it in front of you. Close your eyes, take several deep breaths, and center yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, visualize a circle of light surrounding you, creating a sacred space where only divine energies may enter. This circle of light represents your protection and your connection to the higher realms. Feel the light growing stronger with each breath, forming a barrier that keeps out any distractions or lower energies. Next, take your sacred symbol in your hands, or if it is too large to hold, simply focus on it, and hold it to your heart. This symbol represents the gateway to higher consciousness. As you hold it, begin to focus on the intention of your ritual, to invoke divine wisdom, to open your mind to higher consciousness, and to align yourself with the cosmic forces of the universe. Once you are fully centered in your intention, speak aloud an invocation to the divine. This invocation can be a prayer, a chant, or an affirmation that resonates with you. For example, you might say, "I invoke the presence of divine wisdom, the source of all light and truth. I call upon the higher forces of the cosmos to guide me, to open my mind and heart to the sacred mysteries of the universe. As I perform this sacred ritual, I align myself with the divine will, and I open myself to receive the light of higher consciousness. May the wisdom of the ages flow through me, and may I become a vessel for divine truth." As you speak these words, imagine a beam of golden light descending from above, entering your crown chakra and filling your entire being with divine energy. Feel this light flowing through you, opening your mind to higher truths and aligning you with the divine presence. After you have invoked the divine energies, take a moment to sit in silence and feel the presence of higher consciousness. Allow any thoughts, insights, or intuitive messages to flow through you. This is the time for receiving divine guidance, so remain open and receptive to whatever comes. When you feel ready, close the ritual by expressing gratitude to the divine forces for their guidance and presence. You might say something like, "I give thanks to the divine light for guiding me and opening the gates of wisdom. I am grateful for the presence of higher consciousness, and I honor the sacred connection between myself and the cosmos. May I carry this light with me always, and may I continue to walk the path of divine truth." Blow out the candle, but keep the light of higher consciousness within you. Know that the connection you have created during the ritual will continue to guide you in your spiritual journey, helping you access higher states of consciousness and deeper levels of wisdom. In addition to rituals of invocation, there are also rituals designed to attune the practitioner to the elemental forces of nature. These rituals, which are common in both Hermetic and Rosicrucian traditions, involve working with the four classical elements, earth, water, fire, and air, to bring balance and harmony to the body, mind, and spirit. Each element represents a different aspect of the self and the universe, and by working with these elements in ritual, the practitioner can attune themselves to the natural forces that govern the world and align their energy with the flow of the cosmos. For example, the element of earth represents grounding, stability, and physical health. A ritual to invoke the element of earth might involve burying a symbolic object in the ground, planting a seed, or working with stones or crystals to draw upon the earth's energy. The element of water represents emotions, intuition, and healing. A ritual to invoke the element of water might involve working with a sacred spring, river, or ocean, using water to cleanse the body and soul, or creating a water altar to honor the flow of divine energy. The element of fire represents transformation, willpower, and inner strength. A fire ritual might involve lighting a candle or a bonfire, using the flame to burn away old energies and invoke the light of transformation. Finally, the element of air represents intellect, communication, and spiritual clarity. A ritual to invoke the element of air might involve working with incense, wind, or breath, using these tools to clear the mind and open the pathways of higher understanding. These elemental rituals not only connect the practitioner with the forces of nature but also serve as a way to harmonize the internal energies of the body, mind, and soul. By aligning with the elements, the practitioner brings their own inner world into balance, allowing for greater clarity, insight, and spiritual growth. Rituals of the sacred mind are more than just ceremonial acts. They are living, dynamic processes that connect the individual to the vast, unseen forces of the universe. By performing these rituals with intention and awareness, you open the door to higher consciousness, accessing the divine wisdom that flows through all things. As you continue on your spiritual journey, these rituals will serve as powerful tools for transformation, helping you to align with the higher laws of the cosmos and to realize the full potential of your soul. Chapter 9. Manifestation through Esoteric Principles. The power to shape reality, to manifest one's desires and intentions into the world, has long been a central focus of esoteric traditions. Behind the veil of material existence lies a dynamic interplay of energy, thought, and vibration that governs the process of creation. The Hermetic Principle of Mentalism, the all is mind, the universe is mental, reveals that the universe itself is a construct of the divine mind, and through the mastery of mental and spiritual forces, individuals can become co-creators in this grand design. Manifestation is not merely about obtaining material things. It is about aligning with the fundamental laws of the universe, drawing on esoteric principles to bring forth the reality that reflects the higher truths of the soul. At the core of the manifestation process is the understanding that everything in the universe, from the densest material objects to the most subtle spiritual forces, is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Thought itself is a form of energy, and it is through the directed use of thought that we shape the reality around us. The principle of vibration, another of the 7 Hermetic Principles, teaches that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. By mastering the art of conscious thought and aligning our vibrational frequency with our desires, we can influence the energetic currents that shape the world. Yet, to truly manifest, one must go beyond the superficial understanding of thought as a creative force. In esoteric traditions, manifestation is seen as a process of harmonizing the inner and outer worlds, bringing the microcosm of the self into alignment with the macrocosm of the universe. This is not a matter of simply wishing for something and expecting it to appear. It requires deep inner work, the cultivation of mental discipline, and an understanding of the esoteric laws that govern creation. Manifestation is the art of aligning the mind, body, and soul with the divine forces, so that one's will is in harmony with the cosmic will. The Hermetic tradition offers profound insights into this process through the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. This principle reveals that the same laws that govern the movements of the planets and the cycles of nature also govern the thoughts, emotions, and actions of individuals. Just as the stars move in harmony with the universal rhythms, so too must our intentions align with the deeper forces of the cosmos. To manifest effectively, one must not only focus on the desired outcome but also align that desire with the higher laws of nature and the divine plan. This means seeking not only personal gain but also the greater good, and acting in accordance with the principles of balance, harmony, and wisdom. Another key esoteric teaching related to manifestation is the law of cause and effect. In the material world, every action has a reaction. Every cause produces an effect. This law applies equally to the unseen realms of thought and energy. Every thought we hold, every intention we set, creates a ripple in the energetic field, and these ripples eventually return to us in the form of experiences, opportunities, and challenges. To master manifestation, we must understand that we are constantly creating our reality through our thoughts, words, and actions. Therefore, the process of manifestation requires a conscious effort to align our inner world, our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the reality we wish to create. The practice of manifestation through esoteric principles begins with the cultivation of clear intention. Clarity of thought is essential because the universe responds not to vague desires but to specific, focused intentions. This requires deep self-reflection, an understanding of what one truly desires on a soul level, and the ability to discern between fleeting material wants and the deeper, more enduring aspirations of the soul. The desires that are aligned with one's higher purpose and spiritual growth are those most likely to manifest, for they resonate with the higher frequencies of the universe. Once clarity of intention is established, the next step is to align one's vibrational frequency with that intention. This is where the principle of vibration comes into play. If your thoughts and emotions are filled with doubt, fear, or lack, you are vibrating at a low frequency, which will attract more of the same. However, when your thoughts and emotions are aligned with feelings of abundance, gratitude, and confidence, you raise your vibrational frequency to match the frequency of your desired outcome. This is the art of attunement, the process of bringing your inner state into harmony with the reality you wish to create. A powerful technique for raising your vibrational frequency and aligning with your desires is the practice of affirmative visualization. This practice combines visualization, the mental image of your desired outcome, with positive affirmations that reinforce the belief that what you seek is already manifesting. To begin, find a quiet space where you can relax and focus your mind. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, centering yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, bring to mind your desired outcome. Visualize it in as much detail as possible. See it, feel it, hear it. Imagine yourself already living in the reality you wish to create. How does it feel? What emotions arise as you experience this new reality? Allow yourself to fully immerse in the experience, as though it is happening right now. As you hold this image in your mind, begin to speak positive affirmations that align with your intention. For example, if your desire is to manifest greater abundance in your life, you might say, "I am open to receiving abundance from all sources. The universe supports me in every way. I am worthy of prosperity and success." As you repeat these affirmations, feel the truth of these words resonating within you. The key is to believe, with absolute certainty, that what you desire is already on its way to you. This practice of affirmative visualization works on multiple levels. It activates the conscious mind, which directs your thoughts and intentions toward your desired outcome, and it also influences the subconscious mind, which is responsible for shaping your beliefs and emotional responses. By repeating positive affirmations and visualizing your desired outcome, you are reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with the reality you wish to create. Yet, Visualization and affirmation alone are not enough. The final key to manifestation is action. Esoteric teachings emphasize that thought must be followed by aligned action. The law of cause and effect teaches us that nothing happens without a cause. If you wish to manifest something in your life, you must take concrete steps toward that goal, trusting that the universe will meet you halfway. This does not mean forcing things to happen or acting out of desperation, but rather taking inspired, intentional action that aligns with your desires and with the flow of the universe. Manifestation is a collaborative process between the individual and the cosmos. It is a dance between intention, vibration, and action, where the practitioner learns to move in harmony with the divine forces that govern creation. The more we align with these forces, the more effortless the process of manifestation becomes. Instead of struggling to force outcomes, we begin to flow with the natural rhythms of the universe, trusting that what is meant for us will come into being in perfect timing. A powerful ritual for manifestation through esoteric principles is the ritual of cosmic alignment. This ritual combines visualization, invocation, and action to align the practitioner's desires with the universal forces of creation. To perform the ritual of cosmic alignment, find a quiet space where you can work undisturbed. You will need a candle, a piece of paper, and a pen. Begin by lighting the candle and placing it in front of you, symbolizing the light of divine wisdom. Take a few moments to center yourself through deep breathing, allowing your mind to clear and your body to relax. On the piece of paper, write down your desired outcome in the form of a positive affirmation. Be specific and focused. For example, if your desire is to attract love into your life, you might write, "I am worthy of deep, loving relationships. I attract love and connection in every area of my life." If your desire is to manifest a new job, you might write, "I am aligned with my purpose, and the perfect job is coming to me." Once you have written your affirmation, hold the paper in your hands and close your eyes. Begin to visualize your desired outcome as clearly as possible. See yourself already living in the reality you are manifesting. Feel the emotions of joy, fulfillment, and gratitude as though your desire has already come to pass. As you hold this vision in your mind, begin to speak your affirmation aloud. Repeat it 3 times, each time with more conviction and belief. As you do, imagine the energy of your desire flowing into the universe, aligning with the cosmic forces that will bring it into being. When you have completed the visualization and affirmation, take a moment to sit in silence and listen for any intuitive guidance. You may receive insights or ideas about actions you can take to bring your desire into reality. Trust in whatever comes to you. Finally, as a symbolic act of release, take the piece of paper and burn it in the flame of the candle, offering your desire to the universe. As the paper burns, say aloud, "I release this desire to the divine forces of creation. I trust in the wisdom of the universe, and I know that what is meant for me will come in perfect timing." Blow out the candle and carry the energy of the ritual with you. Be open to the opportunities and synchronicities that will arise, and take inspired action as you move forward in alignment with your desire. Chapter 10. The Spiral Path of Spiritual Evolution. The journey of spiritual evolution is not a linear one. It unfolds in spirals, cycles of growth and transformation that carry us upward toward ever higher levels of consciousness. This ancient symbol of the spiral is deeply embedded in esoteric traditions, representing the eternal, cyclical nature of the universe and the soul's journey through time and space. Unlike a straight path, which might imply a single, fixed direction, the spiral path acknowledges the complexities of human experience, our moments of expansion and contraction, progress and regression, and reveals that true spiritual growth is an ever-deepening return to the same truths, each time with greater wisdom and understanding. The spiral is a universal symbol, found in nature, in the patterns of galaxies, seashells, and whirlpools, as well as in the growth of plants and the unfolding of the human psyche. In the esoteric traditions, the spiral is seen as a symbol of the soul's evolution through countless lifetimes, a process of ascent through the levels of consciousness, with each turn of the spiral bringing the soul closer to the divine source. The path of spiritual evolution is not a simple upward climb. It involves revisiting themes and lessons from the past, but from a higher vantage point, with new insights and a deeper understanding. In Rosicrucian and alchemical teachings, the spiral represents the stages of the great work, the soul's alchemical transformation from base matter to spiritual gold. As the soul ascends the spiral, it goes through cycles of purification, dissolution, and rebirth, shedding the old, false self and revealing the divine self that lies within. Each revolution of the spiral is a new stage of awakening, where the soul encounters deeper layers of truth and brings them into conscious awareness. The spiral path is not one of straight-line progress. It involves cycles of forgetting and remembering, falling and rising again, as the soul integrates the lessons of each phase of its journey. The spiral also reflects the cyclical nature of the cosmos. In many esoteric systems, time itself is viewed as cyclical, with history repeating in patterns, and spiritual evolution unfolding through cycles of creation, destruction, and renewal. The ancient Hindu concept of yugas, vast epochs of time that rise and fall in cycles, speaks to this understanding of cosmic time. Similarly, the Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, reflects the idea that the macrocosmic cycles of the universe are mirrored in the microcosmic cycles of the soul's evolution. Just as the universe moves through cycles of expansion and contraction, so too does the soul move through cycles of growth and transformation. On the individual level, the spiral path can be seen in the way we encounter the same themes, challenges, and lessons throughout our lives, but each time from a new perspective. You may find that certain patterns repeat in your relationships, career, or spiritual practice, and though these patterns may seem familiar, they are not exactly the same as before. Each time they arise, you have the opportunity to approach them with the wisdom you have gained from past experiences. This is the spiral at work. Each revolution brings you back to the same point, but at a higher level of awareness, allowing you to engage with the challenge or lesson from a place of greater insight. The spiral also represents the soul's journey through the process of spiritual awakening. Just as the spiral rises upward, leading toward the center, so too does the path of awakening lead us inward, toward the core of our being, where the divine spark resides. The process of awakening is not a linear ascent. It involves cycles of illumination and obscuration, where moments of clarity are followed by periods of confusion or darkness. Yet, each time we return to the light, we do so with a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are meant to become. In Gnostic and alchemical traditions, this spiral path is mirrored in the concept of the Ouroboros, the serpent that eats its own tail. The Ouroboros is a symbol of the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth, as well as the eternal return of the soul to its source. It represents the alchemical process of transformation, where the old self is continually consumed and reborn into a higher state of being. The Ouroboros teaches that spiritual evolution is a never-ending process, where each stage of growth leads to a new beginning, and each ending holds the seed of a new phase of awakening. The spiral path also reminds us that setbacks and challenges are not signs of failure, but necessary parts of the evolutionary process. In alchemy, the process of purification and transformation often involves stages of chaos, dissolution, and disintegration. The old structures of the ego must be broken down before the new, higher self can emerge. These periods of dissolution can feel like regressions or failures, but they are, in fact, essential phases of growth. The spiral teaches us that progress is not always linear. Sometimes we must revisit old wounds, confront past fears, or experience moments of darkness in order to rise to the next level of consciousness. To walk the spiral path is to embrace the cycles of life and death, light and shadow, expansion and contraction, that are inherent in the process of spiritual evolution. It is to understand that growth is not always straightforward and that the soul's journey is one of continual refinement, where each turn of the spiral brings us closer to the divine, while also bringing us deeper into ourselves. A practical meditation to align with the spiral path of spiritual evolution is the spiral meditation. This meditation helps you to connect with the cyclical nature of your spiritual growth and to embrace the process of returning to the same lessons and challenges from a higher perspective. To begin the spiral meditation, find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths, centering yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, visualize a spiral of light rising from the base of your spine and extending upward through the crown of your head. This spiral represents your path of spiritual evolution, moving ever upward, carrying you toward higher states of consciousness. As you breathe, imagine yourself walking along this spiral path, moving upward with each step. With each turn of the spiral, you encounter familiar themes or lessons from your life. These may be challenges, relationships, or patterns that you have encountered before. As you encounter each one, take a moment to reflect on how you have grown since the last time you faced this challenge. What new insights or wisdom have you gained? How can you approach this lesson from a higher perspective? As you continue to walk the spiral, allow yourself to feel a sense of acceptance for the cyclical nature of your journey. Understand that each time you return to the same point on the spiral, you do so with greater wisdom and a deeper understanding of yourself. Embrace the process of revisiting old lessons, knowing that each turn of the spiral brings you closer to your true, divine nature. When you reach the center of the spiral, imagine yourself standing in a place of stillness and peace. Here, at the center, you are connected to both the highest realms of the cosmos and the deepest parts of your soul. Allow yourself to rest in this space, feeling the presence of the divine within you and the infinite wisdom that flows through the spiral of your evolution. As you finish the meditation, bring your awareness back to the present moment, carrying with you the understanding that your spiritual journey is a spiral, one of continual growth, refinement, and return to the same truths, but with ever greater clarity and wisdom. Through this meditation, you can begin to embrace the spiral path of your own spiritual evolution, seeing each challenge or setback as an opportunity for deeper growth and understanding. The spiral teaches that true progress is not measured by how far we go in a straight line, but by how deeply we integrate the lessons we encounter along the way. As you walk the spiral path, remember that each step brings you closer to the divine, while also bringing you home to yourself. The spiral of spiritual evolution is the soul's eternal journey through the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. It is a path of continual ascent, where each revolution brings new insights and deeper layers of transformation. By aligning with the spiral, we come to understand that our growth is a never-ending process, one that carries us closer to the divine source with every turn, while deepening our understanding of the infinite wisdom within. Chapter 11: Death, Rebirth, and the Eternal Soul. The mystery of death has captivated the minds of spiritual seekers for millennia. In esoteric traditions, death is not seen as an end but as a necessary transformation, a gateway to rebirth and renewal. It is through the cycles of death and rebirth that the soul ascends, shedding the limitations of the physical world and drawing closer to its divine essence. To understand death from an esoteric perspective is to glimpse the eternal nature of the soul, the unbroken continuity of consciousness, and the profound journey of spiritual evolution that transcends the physical form. In Hermeticism, Gnosticism, and Alchemy, death is often described as a necessary dissolution, a breaking down of the old self, the ego, and the physical body to make way for spiritual renewal. This process mirrors the alchemical stage of nigredo, where the base elements of the self are dissolved and purified to prepare for the higher stages of transformation. In both life and death, the soul undergoes this alchemical process, shedding the material and illusory aspects of existence in order to awaken to its true nature. The concept of spiritual rebirth is central to many esoteric traditions. In ancient Egypt, the journey through the afterlife was seen as a process of renewal, where the soul passed through various trials and tests to emerge purified and reborn into the eternal light. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, also known as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, describes this journey in vivid detail, showing that death was not feared but embraced as a transition into a higher state of being. The soul, guided by divine wisdom, would ascend through the realms of the afterlife, ultimately merging with the divine source, where it would experience eternal life and light. In Gnosticism, death is understood as the moment when the soul is liberated from the prison of the material world. The physical body, governed by the archons, the rulers of the material plane, falls away, and the divine spark within the soul is freed to return to the pleroma, the fullness of divine light. This return to the divine source is not a loss of individuality but a reintegration with the greater whole, where the soul remembers its true nature and its oneness with the cosmos. The Gnostic view of death is one of liberation, where the soul escapes the limitations of the material world and ascends to the higher realms of spirit. The process of death and rebirth is also reflected in the natural world, where cycles of life, death, and renewal are constantly at play. In alchemy, this cycle is represented by the Ouroboros, the serpent that eats its own tail, symbolizing the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The Ouroboros teaches that death is not an ending but a return to the beginning, a process of regeneration and transformation that leads to higher states of consciousness. Just as the seasons move from spring to summer, autumn to winter, so too does the soul move through cycles of growth, dissolution, and rebirth. The eternal nature of the soul is a central tenet in esoteric philosophy. While the physical body is impermanent and subject to decay, the soul is eternal, transcending the limitations of time and space. The soul, having existed long before its current incarnation, will continue to exist long after the body has passed away. This understanding of the soul's immortality can be found in many esoteric traditions, from the Hermetic writings to the teachings of reincarnation in Hinduism and Buddhism. The soul is seen as a traveler, moving through lifetimes, gaining wisdom and experience, and evolving toward its ultimate reunion with the divine source. Reincarnation, the belief that the soul is reborn into different physical bodies across multiple lifetimes, is a concept that bridges both Eastern and Western esoteric traditions. In Hinduism and Buddhism, reincarnation is understood as part of the law of karma, the principle that each action, thought, and intention creates an effect that carries over from one lifetime to the next. The soul, through its journey of reincarnation, learns and evolves, gradually working off its karmic debt and moving closer to enlightenment. In the Western esoteric tradition, particularly in theosophy and certain branches of Rosicrucianism, reincarnation is also seen as a vital aspect of the soul's evolution. The soul, having experienced countless lifetimes, carries the wisdom of those experiences into each new incarnation. The challenges, lessons, and relationships we encounter in our current life are often the result of unresolved karmic patterns from previous lifetimes. By working through these patterns, the soul moves closer to self-realization, ultimately transcending the cycle of reincarnation and achieving union with the divine. While the concept of reincarnation explains the soul's journey across lifetimes, esoteric teachings also emphasize the importance of symbolic death and rebirth within a single lifetime. This process, often referred to as dying to the old self, is a key aspect of spiritual awakening. Just as the physical body will eventually die, so too must the ego, with all its attachments, fears, and illusions, be dissolved to make way for the rebirth of the true self. This symbolic death is an essential part of the spiritual path, where the old, conditioned patterns of the mind are released, and the soul awakens to its divine nature. The ancient initiates of the mystery schools understood this process well. In the rites of initiation, the candidate was often symbolically killed and reborn as part of their journey towards spiritual enlightenment. This ritual death was a powerful experience, where the initiate faced their own mortality and the dissolution of the ego. Through this process, they were able to transcend the limitations of the physical world and experience a profound rebirth into the higher realms of consciousness. The rites of death and rebirth were not only symbolic but transformative, leading the initiate to a deeper understanding of the soul's immortality and its connection to the divine. A powerful meditation for embracing the cycle of death and rebirth is the Death and Rebirth Meditation, a practice designed to help the practitioner symbolically die to their old self and be reborn into a higher state of consciousness. To begin the Death and Rebirth Meditation, find a quiet, sacred space where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take several deep breaths, allowing yourself to relax and center your awareness in the present moment. As you breathe, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a great, dark abyss. This abyss represents the unknown, the void of death and transformation. As you stand before the abyss, take a moment to reflect on the aspects of yourself that no longer serve you. These may be fears, attachments, limiting beliefs, or old patterns of behavior that have kept you bound to the material world. As you breathe, allow these aspects of yourself to come to the surface of your awareness. Do not judge them or resist them, simply observe them. When you are ready, take a step forward into the abyss. As you do, imagine yourself falling into the darkness, letting go of all the old parts of yourself that no longer serve your highest good. Feel the dissolution of your ego, your fears, and your attachments as you descend into the void. Trust in the process, knowing that this symbolic death is necessary for your rebirth. As you continue to fall, the darkness around you begins to soften, and you feel a sense of peace and surrender. At the very bottom of the abyss, you find yourself resting in a state of stillness and emptiness. This is the state of pure potential, the place where all things are born and reborn. In this space, you are free from the illusions of the material world and fully connected to the eternal essence of your soul. Now, as you rest in this state, imagine a radiant light beginning to grow within you. This light represents your rebirth, your true self, free from the limitations of the ego and fully aligned with the divine. As the light grows stronger, you begin to rise out of the abyss, ascending toward the surface. With each breath, the light within you expands, filling your entire being with its warmth and brilliance. As you rise, you are reborn into a new state of consciousness. You have let go of the old self and emerged as the true, divine being that you are. Feel the light of your rebirth shining within you, and know that you are now aligned with the eternal soul, which transcends both life and death. When you are ready, bring your awareness back to the present moment, carrying with you the sense of renewal and rebirth that you have experienced. Know that you are on an eternal journey, and that each cycle of death and rebirth brings you closer to the divine source. Through this meditation, you can begin to embrace the cycles of death and rebirth as part of your own spiritual evolution. The process of dying to the old self and being reborn into higher consciousness is a vital aspect of the spiritual path, one that leads to greater wisdom, clarity, and alignment with the divine. In the esoteric understanding of death, the soul is never lost or destroyed. It simply moves from one phase of existence to another. Each death, whether physical or symbolic, is an opportunity for transformation and renewal, a step closer to the realization of the soul's eternal nature. By embracing the cycles of death and rebirth, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of spiritual growth and the profound truth that the soul is, and always will be, eternal. Chapter 12. The Great Work, Achieving Inner Alchemy. In the esoteric tradition, the ultimate goal of the spiritual path is often described as the Great Work. This ancient term, used in both alchemy and Hermetic philosophy, refers to the process of inner transformation, where the base elements of the self are refined into spiritual gold. The Great Work is not merely a metaphor for spiritual growth. It is a literal journey of self-mastery, one that leads to the full realization of the soul's divine nature. To achieve the Great Work is to become the philosopher's stone, a being of perfect balance, harmony, and enlightenment, capable of transforming both the self and the world around them. The Great Work is an ongoing, lifelong process. It involves the gradual purification of the soul through the stages of alchemical transformation, leading ultimately to spiritual illumination and union with the divine. In alchemical terms, this process is often divided into four primary stages: nigredo, blackening; albedo, whitening; citronides, yellowing; and rubedo, reddening. Each of these stages represents a step in the transformation of the self, from the initial dissolution of the ego to the final realization of divine unity. The first stage of the Great Work, nigredo, or blackening, represents the dissolution of the old self. In this stage, the soul must confront the darkness within, the fears, attachments, and limiting beliefs that keep it bound to the material world. This process is often described as the dark night of the soul, a period of deep introspection where the ego is broken down and the soul is purified through suffering and challenge. While this stage can be painful, it is necessary, for it is only through the dissolution of the ego that the soul can begin its ascent toward spiritual illumination. As the soul moves through nigredo, it enters the second stage of the Great Work, albedo, or whitening. This stage represents the purification of the soul, where the darkness of nigredo gives way to the light of spiritual understanding. In albedo, the soul begins to experience moments of clarity, insight, and peace, as the old patterns of the ego are washed away and the true self begins to emerge. This stage is often associated with the experience of grace, a sense of divine guidance and support that lifts the soul toward higher realms of consciousness. The third stage, citronides, or yellowing, is the stage of spiritual wisdom and integration. In this phase, the soul moves beyond the initial illumination of albedo and begins to embody the wisdom it has gained. Citronides is the stage where the soul learns to live in alignment with divine truth, integrating spiritual principles into everyday life. It is the stage of inner alchemy, where the soul transforms the base elements of the personality, fear, anger, attachment, into higher states of love, wisdom, and compassion. The inner and outer worlds begin to reflect one another, and the soul experiences a deep sense of harmony and balance. Finally, the Great Work culminates in the fourth stage, rubedo, or reddening. This stage represents the completion of the soul's transformation, where it becomes the philosopher's stone, a being of pure light and divine power, capable of transmuting the material world through its presence. In rubedo, the soul has achieved spiritual mastery, having integrated all aspects of the self into a unified whole. The individual no longer experiences separation from the divine but lives in a state of oneness with the cosmos. In this final stage, the soul radiates divine love and wisdom, becoming a beacon of light for others on the path. The Great Work is not just a personal journey, it is also a cosmic one. As individuals undergo their own inner alchemy, they contribute to the evolution of the collective consciousness, raising the vibration of the world and helping to bring about a new era of spiritual awakening. The individual soul, through its transformation, becomes an agent of divine will, a co-creator with the universe, shaping reality through the power of its awakened consciousness. But the Great Work is not achieved through intellectual understanding alone. It requires a deep commitment to inner work, a willingness to confront one's shadow, to embrace the cycles of death and rebirth, and to continually refine the self in alignment with divine will. The journey of the great work is one of discipline, dedication, and surrender, where the soul gradually learns to let go of the ego's desires and align with the higher purpose of the cosmos. One of the most powerful aspects of the great work is its emphasis on balance. In alchemical terms, the philosopher's stone represents the perfect union of opposites, light and dark, masculine and feminine, spirit and matter. To achieve the great work is to bring these polarities into harmony within oneself, creating a state of inner equilibrium that reflects the divine balance of the universe. This balance is not static. It is dynamic, ever-changing, as the soul learns to move with the rhythms of the cosmos, responding to life's challenges with grace and wisdom. The great work also teaches the importance of humility and patience. Spiritual transformation does not happen overnight, nor is it achieved through force of will alone. The process of alchemical transformation is one of slow, steady refinement, where the soul is gradually purified through the fires of experience. Each stage of the great work must be fully integrated before the soul can move on to the next, and this requires patience, trust, and a deep sense of surrender to the divine process. A practical way to engage with the great work is through the practice of inner alchemy ritual, a powerful ritual designed to align the soul with the stages of alchemical transformation and accelerate the process of spiritual growth. To perform the inner alchemy ritual, begin by finding a quiet, sacred space where you can work without distractions. You will need a candle to represent the divine light, a piece of paper, and a pen. Begin by lighting the candle and placing it in front of you, symbolizing the light of spiritual illumination. Take a few moments to center yourself through deep breathing, allowing your mind to quiet and your body to relax. As you breathe, bring your awareness to the areas of your life where you feel out of balance. These may be unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, or old patterns of behavior that no longer serve you. On the piece of paper, write down these aspects of yourself that you are ready to dissolve. This is your personal negretto, the stage of blackening, where the old self is broken down and purified. As you write, be honest and compassionate with yourself, acknowledging the areas of your life that need transformation. Once you have written your list, take a moment to reflect on it. Hold the paper in your hands and close your eyes. As you breathe, visualize the old patterns dissolving into a black, formless void, symbolizing the dissolution of the ego. This is the process of negretto, the necessary death of the old self. When you feel ready, take the paper and burn it in the flame of the candle, symbolizing the purification of your soul through the fires of transformation. As the paper burns, silently or aloud, say, "I release these old patterns to the divine fire. I surrender to the process of transformation, knowing that I am being purified and made new. I embrace the light of spiritual illumination, and I trust in the unfolding of the great work within me." As the paper burns, allow yourself to feel the sense of release and purification. Visualize the ashes of the old self being carried away by the wind, leaving behind only the pure essence of your true self. Now, enter the stage of albedo, the whitening. As you sit in the presence of the candle's light, focus on the feeling of clarity, purity, and divine guidance. Allow the light to fill you, washing away any lingering darkness and bringing you into alignment with your highest self. Feel the grace of divine wisdom flowing through you, guiding you on your path. Next, move into the stage of citronitas, the yellowing. This is the stage of integration, where you begin to embody the wisdom you have gained through your spiritual journey. As you sit with the light, reflect on how you can bring this new understanding into your daily life. What steps can you take to live in greater alignment with your divine purpose? What actions can you take to embody the qualities of love, wisdom, and compassion? Finally, enter the stage of rubedo, the reddening. In this stage, you experience the fullness of spiritual mastery, where you become the philosopher's stone, radiating divine light and wisdom into the world. Visualize yourself as a being of pure light, fully aligned with the cosmos, capable of transforming the material world through your presence. Know that you are a co-creator with the divine, and that your every thought, word, and action shapes the reality around you. As you finish the ritual, sit in silence for a few moments, feeling the sense of completion and wholeness that comes with the great work. When you are ready, blow out the candle, carrying with you the light of inner alchemy and the knowledge that you are on the path of spiritual mastery. The great work is a profound and transformative journey, one that leads to the highest levels of spiritual realization. By engaging with the principles of inner alchemy, you can accelerate your own process of transformation, bringing yourself into alignment with the divine and realizing the full potential of your soul. Through patience, discipline, and dedication to the path, you can achieve the great work and become a radiant force of divine wisdom and love in the world. As we approach the conclusion, if you've been enjoying the audiobook, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway has been. Conclusion. Living as an adept, the path forward. The journey of spiritual awakening is not a destination, but a continual unfolding, a lifelong process of deepening wisdom, transformation, and alignment with the divine. As you walk the path of the adept, you are invited to live in alignment with the truths you have discovered, to integrate the sacred teachings of esoteric wisdom into your everyday life. The journey you have undertaken through this book, one of self-discovery, alchemical transformation, and the unlocking of inner power, has opened doors to new realms of consciousness, but it is only the beginning. The path forward is one of continual refinement, where you cultivate your inner alchemy and align your soul with the highest truths of the cosmos. To live as an adept means to walk the world as a conscious, awakened being, one who recognizes the sacred in all things, who moves through life with purpose, intention, and alignment with the divine will. It is a path of mastery, not over others, but over oneself. The adept understands that true power comes from within, from the mastery of thought, emotion, and energy, and from the conscious application of the universal laws that govern the cosmos. Living as an adept means embodying the virtues of wisdom, compassion, and love, and using your spiritual knowledge to serve the greater good of all beings. Throughout this book, we have explored the teachings of Hermeticism, alchemy, Gnosticism, and other esoteric traditions, all of which point to the same truth: that the universe is a reflection of the divine mind, and that by mastering the forces of the inner world, we can shape the outer world in alignment with divine purpose. The principles you have learned, the 7 Hermetic laws, the stages of alchemical transformation, the process of manifestation, and the understanding of the microcosm and macrocosm, are not just philosophical concepts. They are living, dynamic forces that can be applied to every aspect of your life. As you move forward on your path, the key is to remain conscious of these principles and to integrate them into your daily practices. The life of an adept is one of intentional living, where each thought, action, and choice is made with awareness of its impact on the self and the world. This does not mean living in a state of rigid perfection, but rather cultivating a state of mindful presence, where you are continually refining and aligning yourself with the highest truths. One of the most important practices for living as an adept is the cultivation of daily ritual. Rituals, whether simple or elaborate, serve as powerful tools for grounding spiritual principles into physical reality. They help to create sacred space, where the mundane is infused with the divine, and where the mind, body, and soul are brought into alignment with higher consciousness. Whether through meditation, prayer, or the invocation of divine energies, Rituals allow you to connect with the universal forces that shape your life and to consciously direct your energy toward your goals and spiritual growth. Another key aspect of the Adept's path is the practice of self-reflection and inner work. The journey of self-mastery is never complete. There are always deeper layers of the self to explore, new aspects of the shadow to integrate, and higher levels of consciousness to attain. By regularly engaging in practices like journaling, meditation, and shadow work, you can continue the process of inner alchemy, refining the base elements of your personality into the gold of spiritual wisdom. In addition to inner work, the adept must also cultivate a sense of service to the world. Spiritual wisdom is not meant to be hoarded or kept to oneself. It is meant to be shared, to uplift and inspire others. As you grow in your spiritual power, it is important to use that power for the greater good, to act as a channel for divine love and wisdom in the world. Whether through teaching, healing, or simply offering kindness and compassion to those around you, the Adept's path is one of service to humanity and to the greater cosmic plan. The path of the Adept also requires a deep sense of trust in the divine process. As you walk this path, you will undoubtedly encounter challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But these are not signs of failure, they are part of the spiritual journey. Each challenge is an opportunity for growth, each obstacle a lesson in resilience, and each moment of doubt an invitation to deepen your faith in the unseen forces that guide your life. Trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be, and that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good. As you continue to live in alignment with the esoteric principles you have learned, you will find that your life begins to reflect the harmony, balance, and wisdom of the cosmos. Your inner and outer worlds will come into alignment, and you will begin to experience the flow of synchronicity, where the right people, opportunities, and resources appear at the perfect time, in perfect harmony with your soul's purpose. This is the magic of living as an adept, where life becomes a dance between the seen and unseen, the physical and the spiritual, the individual and the divine. In closing, the path of spiritual awakening is not one that ends with the attainment of a final goal. It is a path that unfolds in spirals, with each step leading to deeper layers of understanding and higher levels of consciousness. The journey of the adept is one of continual growth, where the mysteries of the universe are revealed not all at once, but gradually, as the soul becomes ready to receive them. As you walk this path, remain open to the teachings of the universe, trusting that each experience, whether joyful or challenging, is a part of your soul's evolution. The world needs awakened beings, individuals who have walked the path of self-mastery, who understand the deeper truths of existence, and who are willing to live in alignment with the divine will. By embracing the esoteric principles of wisdom, love, and transformation, you have the power to become one of those beings, to walk as an adept in the world, and to contribute to the awakening of humanity and the healing of the planet. As you go forth, remember that you are not alone on this journey. You are part of a vast lineage of spiritual seekers, mystics, and adepts who have walked this path before you. Their wisdom is within you, and their guidance is always available, if you choose to listen. Trust in the process of your own awakening, and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The path of the adept is one of beauty, power, and profound transformation. It is a path that leads not only to personal enlightenment but to the realization of the oneness of all beings. By embracing this path, you align yourself with the highest truths of the cosmos, and you become a living expression of divine love and wisdom in the world. May you walk this path with courage, grace, and trust in the infinite potential of your soul.